Let's get that mug off the screen quickly. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I never in a million years expected to be part of an exhibition. So thank you to Andy and Richard and the MTC Events team for bringing me in. Very proud and honoured that my little brand is part of MT today. Over Christmas, I was trying to think of a topic to talk about. I'm sure a lot of people in the room will have probably been invited by me or will have frantically scrolled past my content on your LinkedIn feed. But then I thought, well, even the people that do know me probably don't know why I set up Engineers Insight, what my story is, and why I'm so passionate about inspiring the next generation of engineers. So that's where we're going. So my story started less than 5 miles from here in Coventry. My granddad built a business called Flude Machine Tools. They were machine tool fitters. My nan, my dad, my uncle all worked there. And before I was born, my great-granddad worked there. And if I close my eyes, I can still hear the clinking of the chain as my dad hauled up that shutter door and the smell of the oil that hit you as you walked in. And I can hear the lathes whirring at the back of the shop. And I could feel the crunch of the swarf as me and my brother kicked our football around in their car park. And they had these long bar heaters across the walls that would keep you warm if you were lucky to be within 5 feet of them. I remember asking my nan one day, why are there so many topless calendars on the walls? And she smiled at me and she said, Thomas, it keeps the blokes happy. Different times, right? Now, unfortunately, Flude Machine Tools these days is just my dad and his white van. But the perception of Flude Machine Tools lives on. If you go into schools today and you ask school kids what they think of when you say engineering or manufacturing, they'll tell you it's those dirty blue overalls and oil-stained hands. And I know parts of industry is still a little bit like that, but in the main it's not. Us in manufacturing, we're at the forefront of technology. And I don't know about you, but I'm extremely proud to be an engineer. So why don't kids know that? Before I show you how we're going to inspire the next generation of engineers, I should probably explain who I am, why I'm here. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do after school. Of course, I thought I'd be an engineer, but my family said, don't be mechanical, there's no money in it. Be electrical. I don't know if they were just bitter because of the family business. But I was lucky that my godfather was an application engineer at Schneider. And one day he brought home a demo kit and some servos spinning, a HMI, PLC and some flashing lights, and I was hooked. I started at Schneider as an apprentice, then I became a drives application engineer, and then when BPX set up their Schneider branches, I moved into sales, I moved over to Yaskawa and I headed up drives and motion there, and that's where the brainwave for Engineers Insight came from. Whilst building that, I spent another year in industry at Cognex. So what's Engineers Insight? I was in my mid-20s, sat in a meeting at Yaskawa, growing ever frustrated that for an industry that talks about tech, AI, robots, deep learning, we're still relying on traditional media to get content to the market. So we built a completely free mobile app that centralises everything an engineer would need in one place. So if you are on the Wi-Fi, because I know the signal in here is not great, that QR code takes you to the App Store. I promise you it's free, no credit card details needed. We have just shy of 3,000 app users in the UK. We have 52 of the global automation brands on so far. We're just about to partner with Machine Tool Association, so we will also bring in machine tool vendors. This is what it looks like. I'm going to move this side. This is what it looks like. So it looks like social media. It's latest products on a newsfeed, but behind each product is all the tech info an engineer would need. Application video. We took wireframes to shop floors and engineers were moaning about all these document centers spread across the internet. And then as soon as you download a manual, it goes obsolete. So this allows an engineer to aggregate multi-vendors in one place. We can give them the brochures, the CAD files, declaration of conformity, manuals. You can ask questions to the tech support lines or the sales inboxes of these brands. And then last year we added recruiters. So there's a jobs board in there now. The next update of the jobs board will be for hiring managers. So we'll ask who you're hiring and what sector. And we've got a group of pre-vetted recruiters that have to offer a discount because recruitment is not cheap. And then what's coming next? We're working with MTC Training here because our users and engineers were moaning to us about training. Accessing training courses is also painful. All these vendors have hundreds of courses and hide them all on their own websites. So one platform, we bring all of the vendors' courses in, and an engineer could then put in the same basket an ABB robot course, a Siemens PLC course, and a Cognex Vision course. And the L&D teams only have to raise one purchase order. This is a bit of a, I almost said a sexy one then, a bit of a different approach. ChatGPT, 40% of its responses come from Reddit, which isn't particularly helpful if you're an engineer with your head in a panel on the shop floor. So we built an MVP of, at the minute it's called EIAI, which sounds ridiculous, sounds like Old MacDonald. But Chat ENG, something like that. So this only has access to Engineers Insight, which means it only reads the manuals from the source of truth being the vendors. No access to the world, to the internet. And then one day I thought, well, why doesn't every college student know about this? I needed it 15 years ago in college. Nothing's changed in that time. So we started going to college classes. And we'd get classrooms to download the app, and we'd take product in, and we'd do hands-on demos. This is Warwick University. Took Siemens in. But there was something missing. The students would download it and then never really use it. There's no link. They're still disconnected from all of us. So that's what we're working on this year. In December, we partnered with Cheshire College. So step one will be that Cheshire College will tell me the products that all the students use throughout their coursework, and we'll upload it in Engineers Insight. And then the lecturers will empower the students to think like engineers. So instead of running back to a lecture every time something breaks or they can't get something working, Engineers Insight will be the resource for them. So we're going to update it with all the how-to videos, the maintenance guides from YouTube, the manuals, and all the tech that they need. They've got access to tech support from the brands to make things work. Step two will be, how do we actually align it with curriculum? And how do we give people like you access to their classrooms? Because all of us moan that education is under-preparing our next wave of engineers. So for example, if you're a manufacturer in Coventry, you'd be able to upload a real-world problem that you have on your shop floor and get Coventry College to work on it in their classroom. That's step two. Got a little bit of work before that. Now that's all well and good if you've already decided you want to be an engineer. But you're probably all well aware of the stat that by 2030 we'll be short by 1 million engineers. So how do we actually inspire millions of kids to think being an engineer is cool? Well, I want to work in manufacturing. How do we change the perceptions, not only of the kids, but of the parents and the teachers that are telling the naughty kids that you'll end up working in a warehouse or a factory? How do we change that? I was at an MTC event a few months ago, and someone said to me, surely you watched How It's Made, why don't you just recreate that? And I thought, well, I'm only spinning 9 plates, what's a 10th? So that's what I'm doing. It's called Through the Factory. This is the trailer for episode 1 that we filmed up in Rochdale at Salt Separation Services. They build desalination tanks. The full episode is on a loop at the front with the podcast. Yeah. So sorry if you're sick of my face, but I'm going to be on a loop at the front as well. I'm going to stand out the way so I don't cringe watching myself. Imagine a world where you could only drink seawater. Over 300 million people globally rely on desalination every single day. Cheers. Dan, did you sort that? So, what does a town in Greater Manchester have to do with all this? This is Salt Separation Services, and today we're going through the factory. Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to
Nice to meet you.
Dan, nice to meet you.
So what is it you guys do?
We are Salt Separation Services. We design and manufacture reverse osmosis desalination equipment. It's used for the production of fresh water from seawater, used on Navy ships, cruise ships, oil platforms and other applications.
We're based in Rochdale and we've had quite a steep growth over the last 5 years. So we've gone from 65 staff currently sat at 96 staff, and we plan to increase that to 110 over the next couple of years.
Amazing. Is there any apprentices about that could show me some machines? What was it that made you both decide to be engineers?
I like the hands-on practical side of things, so I prefer to be in a workshop doing either welding or assembly.
Okay.
I also like the workshops. Both of my brothers did engineering and they come home talking about the projects that they've done and what they've learned, and it just somehow inspired me.
Thanks guys, have a great day at work.
You too.
Me too. If you had to pick one skill or a set of attitudes that would mean that young person that's watching this could succeed in your business, what would each of you choose?
One?
I've got one. I don't know if Sarah's is the same as mine.
What's yours?
Inquisitiveness.
Yeah.
A real willingness to learn and be interested in what we do. Yeah.
And a level of, alongside that, a level of confidence.
Okay.
I really like it when I went to meet the apprentices on the open days, those who weren't shy to come forward and ask those questions, because you just know that that's what they're going to be like once they step into the role as well.
Wherever you are, remember this: be curious. Make things, break things, build things. That's how engineers are made, and that could be you. Sorry about that. Thanks. Sorry about the questionable acting. We're actually filming episode 2 tomorrow at Certec, down the road in Coleshill. They produce 1.5 million parts a week for the automotive supply chain. Now, the exciting part of Through the Factory is from day one we partnered with the Design and Technology Association. So 43,000 D&T teachers will use this series to show millions of children what UK manufacturing looks like. And we took 1.2 because you assume that each teacher only teaches 30 kids, but actually the network effect of the teachers and the parents. And then yesterday we announced that we've partnered with Next Gen Makers, who hold accreditations for apprenticeship providers. And they're going to be distributing it through hundreds of colleges, UTCs and schools. So this will be the content series that convinces millions of children that our industry is amazing. Call to actions. Engineers Insight, I've already shown you. It's the free app. Download it, please. Tell every engineer you know about it, please. Double please. And then that's me on LinkedIn. I'm sure we're connected with quite a few of you in the room, but please scan it, connect with me, send me a message. Let's see how we can work together. The real call to action, though, is about today. You're all here because you bought into the idea that manufacturing is better connected. We all work together. So even if you assume that some of the exhibitors out there aren't for you, go and talk to them. Go build a network. Meet the delegates in this room. I'll probably be sat in a corner rocking somewhere, so maybe not talk to me yet. I need to calm my nerves after this. I've been Tom Flude. Thank you all very much.